the unbroken current of Willow Creek. Willow Creek wasn't just a town. It was a museum of forgotten moments, a place where the scent of moss and ancient wood hung heavy in the air. Its cobblestone streets, perpetually damp from the mist of the nearby river, seemed to whisper secrets to the dawn. Here, the rhythm of life was a slow, deliberate drumbeat, a facade of serenity barely concealing the furious currents of the past. My father, a man of quiet authority, and my mother, a vision of calm grace, had built a life that appeared utterly ordinary. But below that placid surface, a forgotten history was coiling, ready to strike. I, Amara, was 27 and vibrating with a mixture of bridal nerves and electric anticipation. I was marrying Daniel, my anchor, my college sweetheart, the man whose companionship had seamlessly evolved into a love I believed was destined. He was everything a woman could desire, steady, intensely loyal, and effortlessly kind. Today, however, the air felt charged. The distant chime of the church bells wasn't a note of peace. It was a klaxon of inevitable change, signaling that the past was done waiting. The morning sun, filtered through my antique lace curtains, illuminated my wedding dress, a fragile, exquisite thing of ivory silk and intricate lace, a hanging promise. As I began the ritual of preparation, my gaze was ensnared by a photograph on the mahogany dresser. My father, impossibly young, radiating a fierce, untamed energy, laughing beside a woman whose eyes were liquid fire filled with intoxicating mischief. Eleanor. I'd asked about her once. His smile had been a ghost, vague, distant, a definitive shift to the conversation's axis. There were depths to my father I'd never plumbed, shadows I believed were harmless. I was catastrophically wrong. Decades earlier, my father was a different force of nature. He was fiercely spirited, possessed of a stubbornness I recognized as my own, and bound utterly to Eleanor. They were the architects of Willow Creek's forgotten corners, their childhood a whirlwind of shared adventures, racing the river's current, and whispering vows beneath the gnarled canopy of the oldest oak. They were not merely friends. They were two halves of an elemental whole, their hearts tied with a force no external power could sever. Then came the rupture. Eleanor's family vanished, pulled away by a sudden, unseen obligation. My father was left behind, constrained by circumstance. Letters became ghosts. Messages were intercepted or lost in the void. Their pristine, unbreakable love was left suspended in a deafening silence. But love this potent does not die. It doesn't even fade. It retreats, simmers, and hardens into an enduring core, waiting for the pressure of time to reignite it. Years became decades. My father married my mother. Eleanor married Daniel's father. They built separate lives, raising families, fulfilling roles. The surface of their lives was impeccable. Yet, in the deepest chambers of their hearts, the flame endured, a constant, incandescent heat. The collision was inevitable. The day Daniel's family arrived to finalize the wedding plans, the air in our formal parlor grew thick and hyper-aware. I saw Eleanor, Daniel's poised, elegant mother, a woman I politely respected. But the moment my father's eyes met hers, the world tilted. A sudden, raw shift occurred, a recognition so intense it was a physical shockwave. Their handshake lingered, charged with an invisible history. Her polite, social laugh echoed with a cacophony of private, shared memories. I tried to rationalize it, a simple rekindling after years. But the small, insidious details began to accumulate, the accidental touches, the jokes that excluded the rest of the room, the glances that held too much weight. They were micro-expressions of a macro disaster. My focus, obsessively trained on Daniel and the coming perfection of our life, began to fray. I started to see my father lingering in his study, the phone glowing late at night. The storm wasn't gathering. It was already here, silently tearing at the foundation of our two families. The spending of time together became undeniable. Their conversations stretched into hushed hours. Notes appeared and vanished from pockets. Their shared silences were more intimate than any conversation. They were two planets, having been flung apart, finally pulling back into the same volatile orbit. A creeping sense of dread turned into cold, hard fear with the first sign of external interference. A shadowy figure. At the perimeter of our garden, in the fading light, someone was watching, taking notes. A silent, persistent surveillance that evaporated the moment a door was opened or a light switched on. It was subtle, cinematic, the low, foreboding bass note in a thriller I was reluctantly starring in. The true narrative had begun. An old love violently resurrected, a chain reaction of deceit, and a reckoning that was hurtling toward my wedding day. The climax didn't happen in a church. It unfolded in the decaying skeleton of an abandoned warehouse on the industrial outskirts of Willow Creek. Moonlight sliced through the jagged, broken windows, illuminating the cracked concrete floor in ghostly streaks. I was crouched behind a towering stack of discarded crates, the metallic tang of fear in my mouth, my heart an audible drum against my ribs. "Stop! This ends tonight." The stranger's voice was a ragged shout, harsh and echoing with decades of pent-up fury. My father stepped into the meager light, his demeanor chillingly calm but his posture taut as a wire. "It ends when we decide. This isn't your battle. It's ours." Eleanor was magnificent. She placed a hand on his arm, her eyes flashing with a raw, desperate determination. "We've lived with your shadow long enough. I'm done hiding. Our love is not a crime." The stranger's face, etched with bitterness, narrowed. "Love? You call this betrayal love? You left me to suffer, and now you return to flaunt your resurrected happiness." It hit me with the force of a physical blow. This wasn't random malice. This was personal vendetta, the dark I had not broken. Weeks later, an anonymous letter arrived. No return address, no signature. I tore it open, my hand shaking. "We are safe. We are finally free. Do not seek us. Love rarely follows reason, but it can and will endure the impossible. Live your own life, Amara." My father and Eleanor had completely dissolved into the unknown, leaving behind a wake of ruin and whispered stories. But the letter was a final release. They had chosen their volatile, dangerous love over everything, and now they had claimed their impossible chance at happiness. My lesson was carved in stone. Love is beautiful, utterly unpredictable, and sometimes terrifyingly dangerous. Betrayal shatters, but it also forges resilience. Months passed. The town's frantic, but slowly subsided into an occasional hum. Daniel and I embarked on the painful process of rebuilding. We traded the grand, suffocating expectations of Willow Creek for a small, anonymous apartment in the city, learning to navigate a relationship that had been tested by fire and the ghost of old flames. I grew stronger, trusting my instincts, valuing raw honesty over comforting lies. Daniel, too, emerged from the heartbreak, recognizing that the past, however painful, could teach compassion. We began to carve out a future that belonged only to us, unbound by the secrets of our parents. Then, a final missive arrived, a simple photograph in the mail. My father and Eleanor, standing hand in hand on a dramatic cliff overlooking a churning ocean, smiling with the defiant joy of the truly free. Scrawled on the back, "Some love is too powerful to be contained. We hope you find yours." Tears stung my eyes. Their story had been a cautionary tale of destruction, yet their final act was a testament to courage. Love, I realized, was not about ownership or neatness. It was about the courage to endure and the truth to face the wreckage. That night, Daniel and I sat on our small balcony, the city lights shimmering below. The moonlight, no longer an accomplice to secrets, felt like a silent witness to our survival. We were tested, but we were unbroken. As the sun rose over our new life, painting the urban sky in defiant shades of gold, I felt a powerful sense of closure. The chaotic, passionate story of betrayal, danger, and impossible love had concluded, but its echoes remained, a haunting, beautiful reminder that life is unpredictable, fiercely alive, and that courage is the true architecture of endurance. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another mind-blowing story coming your way.